gentlemen, we invite you to have a go. And here is Wilfred Pickles.
Now, for many people of a generation, if I utter this phrase, are you courting? Yes. Given the money, Mabel, you know the sort of thing we're talking about. It was one of the big staples for over 21 years over here in the United Kingdom. The brilliant radio programme hosted by a fellow Yorkshireman from Halifax in West Yorkshire, no less, Wilfred Pickles. But Wilfred Pickles was, I know, sounds like a pot of jam, doesn't it? But Wilfred Pickles, of course, was more than just that. He ended up becoming something of a royal favourite. But apparently scandal was attached. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much as ever. Look at this beautiful, isn't that nice and relaxing and calming and living by the river or whatever. I think this is the canal. I never know which one round. I think it's got to be a canal, hasn't it? It's got narrow boats on. I know people ask me, by the way, oh Neil, narrow boats, you know, what are they? And I thought, well, I don't know. I haven't got one, have I? That's why we're here. But you know, you can live on them. Very expensive. That's right. Another lady, by the way, asked me, Neil, you know, she'd been watching for over a year and did I record these things every day, all that sort of stuff. Very kind of you to say, glad you've stuck it out for a year, you deserve a medal. But the bottom line is, yes, they're recorded every single day. And there was a response underneath about somebody said, oh, you do them in block. No, I don't. You can tell by the, you know, whatever day it is, we're talking. Do you know what I mean? There's certain things, obviously, if I'm doing a big interview with somebody, yes, that might be recorded in advance because they're here. But other than that, I'm speaking to you every day from a different, you know, location or wherever we end up filming. I know it's frightening. You wish I weren't. You wish I wasn't speaking to you every single day, don't you? I know, you shake, don't you shake your head. Let's get back to your royal story of the day. Now, Wilfred Pickles, huge star, the very first northern announcer. And that was a big thing, you know, because accents weren't really allowed on the BBC. Oh no, you had to speak the Queen's English. Wilfred soon shot to fame by being an announcer. He became an actor, pantomime star, you name it, he was everything. And according to sources, he was very shrewd and canny. This is why I like Wilfred Pickles, you see. Apparently when he gave you a cheque, it had his name on and a picture. And truly, apparently, you know, you were so enamoured by receiving this cheque, you very rarely cashed it. I wish we could bring cheques back, don't you? It's the sort of thing I'd love to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But now, Wilfred turned out to be a huge royal favourite, but there was a bit of scandal attached, simply because he appeared in two royal variety performances, one in 1950 alongside the brilliant American star Dolores Gray and many others. But what happened was his big radio programme, Have a Go, you remember that, Have a Go, Joe? Well, it was a big royal favourite with King George, Queen Elizabeth and the young princesses. So much so that Wilfred was invited to come along to Windsor Castle to literally do a very special version and pre-record. Now Barney Colahan was the producer, and Barney, if you don't know, was also a big impresario because he was the man behind the brilliant TV series The Good Old Age, which ran for over 25 years, coming live of course from the City Varieties at that time and then later pre-recorded. Now, Have a Go was a very simple thing. It basically was questions like, what does RIP mean? And then if you got it right, you won some money. Hence the catchphrase, give him the money, Mabel. Mabel was Wilfred's wife. See how he kept it all close to him? The money, that is. So Have a Go was then recorded at Windsor Castle. But because it was can you imagine this in today's climate? Rather scandalous, because Wilfred dared to ask any couples that were part of the show, are you courting? Now, courting means, in case a bit of Yorkshire dialect for you there, it means are you going out, are you dating, or are you engaged, something like that. But to say that in front of royals, I know it seems daft now, but was seen as really scandalous, and apparently asked Princess Margaret if she was. She blushed because she was dating someone that Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, the Queen at the time, had no idea. Neither had King George, and apparently, according to sources, she was worried that Wilfred might spill more out. Literally, you see, this is the problem when you hold secrets. The show was a huge success, as I said, and the Duke of Edinburgh and later the Queen, they loved everything that Wilfred did, and she could do apparently a very good impression of him. Very good at regional accents, apparently, the Queen. And so much so when he later became a host of another TV show, Stars on Sunday. Who remembers that? With Bishop Jess, remember him? Well, you know, they all used to come along and do readings on a Sunday, sat by the fireside. So much so that Douglas Fairbanks Jr. actually came to Leeds in West Yorkshire to do Stars on Sunday. So powerful was the show. But Wilfred Pickles remained a big royal favourite. And even in the eyes of Princess Margaret and a young Princess Elizabeth, who were addicted to have a go, well, they couldn't quite believe that Wilfred was in their castle entertaining them. And the idea really was it was all for the staff. But naturally, the royals snuck in and enjoyed the broadcast. Always happy to share these little bon mots of history about our royals and our celebrated BBC stars. And you don't make them like Wilfred anymore, do they? Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.